What's up, YouTube? What's happening? Welcome back to the Gun Bottom. I'm your host, G Sneaks, and as I promised, we're moving the show on the road. I'm outside a local sneakerhead house. You probably heard me mention him on the Gun Bottom before. Iceberg, Mr. 313. I know him as Lionel, but man, he called me, he said, man, I need you to shoot what I got in here. So I know he got some heat because I didn't cop shoes with him before, but now we're about to really go in and we're about to take a look. So let's do it. So I know you got it in there, man. We're about to show what a collection look like for somebody just working a 9 to 5 like myself. You know what I'm saying? When they show the collections of the celebrities and everything, they got sponsors, they millionaires, and theirs don't be too much better than what's in here. You know, so we about to come in here and we about to show you what a 9 to 5 can get you. All right, let's see.
Just I got left.
Trunk full. So this your local connect. This is a trunk of what your local connect will look like. You know what I'm saying? This is from yesterday's release. So you know, he just pulling out what's left, things like that. So, all right, now we about to go in, about to take a look at what it looked like in here. So lead the way.
Let's do it.
All right.
We was camping before the chairs, before the lines, before staying overnight, and before George was selling out on the first day.
I feel like I paid my dues as far as standing in line. I almost refused to do it now. You know what I'm saying? Because I did it for so long. I was standing in line when it was just me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When it was just me, I'm in my car looking like, man, where's the line? Is they coming out at this stuff? It's just me. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I paid my dues. I don't camp no more. You know what I'm saying? The sneaker game been good to me.
I mean, I'm gonna take it back to like 2000, 2001 when, I mean, the only shoes that was really selling out back then was the Cool Grays.
That's it.
And the Breads and then the other 11s when they was re-releasing them. Them Jordans was sitting for a minute.
This
was before all the hoopla and all of the sneaker culture and all that other stuff even came about, man. So to see what the game is now, man, it's crazy, man. You know, you got dudes that, you know, look at people like myself and, you know, they want to know, oh, how did you get so many shoes? And this is not something where, you know, I blew up, got rich, and, you know, just went and bought a sneaker collection. This is stuff, man.
Over a decade.
Yeah, well over a decade. Close to two.
Close to two.
Yeah. It's close to 2 decades in the game.
All right. Wow, man.
Yeah,
I see you got it laid out for us.
Yeah, this is a big portion of my collection. This is about 80% of it right here. You know, it's about maybe 100. This is a little over 100 pairs. Probably about 110, 120, something like that. You know, most of it is retros. I got a couple that's not retros.
Now, as far as retros, now it's a difference in the sneaker game. It's a difference of what you collect.
Right.
What makes you collect Jordans over everything else? Like, why not LeBrons? Why not KDs? Why not, especially the new Kyrie Irvings that everybody taking a liking to right now? What makes Jordan it for you?
What makes Jordan it for me, man, is my childhood, bro.
Right.
Like, it's bigger than just shoes, man. It's not just about shoes. Like, me and this man right here, we the type of people that have been doing this, you know, before it was popular to even have a big collection of shoes.
Exactly.
You know, we was doing this before the sneaker blogs, before the magazines, before all that. When I first started falling in love with J's, you actually had to watch Michael Jordan play basketball that night to see what the new Jordans were. That was how that was our sneaker blog.
Before the internet.
Right.
So, you know,
that was way before the internet.
That was Sneaker Bar before actual Sneaker Bar came out. You had to watch Jordans to see what was finna come out. I remember that, yeah. I remember that.
And so as a youngster, man, he was just my favorite player. He was like a superhero.
Right.
You know,
and I think it's the memories that he possessed, and now we're trying to create our own memories in the shoes and things like that.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it does for me as well.
Right.
As for you, but
especially
these, you know, you talking about flu games. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When I came along and started watching Jordan, you know, it was the late shoes that was retro. Right. You know what I'm saying? 11s, 12s, 13s. So I remember trying to get these real bad. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you know, when they retro them, had to get them.
Yeah. You know, the memory about them is like, you know, the man had the flu, people. The man had no energy. He was probably at about 40% at best, and still did enough to win the game, man. You know, you don't see that out of a lot of players anymore.
No, and especially I think LeBron's and I think they won't do as well because they retro too many, not retro, but they bring out too many colors. Way too many colors, and then those colors he not even wearing in the game. Right. He got his own PEs, and then they sell us something else.
Right.
Jordan wore all his shoes.
Right, exactly.
You know, Jordan wore all his.
That's the biggest difference.
Now take us down through here. Take us down through here, and let me see what you think about that new stuff coming out right there.
Oh, okay, man.
This is the recent stuff that's dropping, so let me know what you think about those.
Okay, well, we can start with what dropped the other day, man. You know, the Bordeaux. You know, the new Bordeaux. Me personally, the remastered quality, I don't really see it, man. Personally, the craftsmanship and all of that is good, but I still don't think it's worth a $40 jump. Yeah, $40 jump. I don't really think it's worth a $40 jump. But you know, one thing that I do like about the retro and Jordans, you know, everybody isn't always able to get everything. So if it was a shoe that came out 5-6 years ago that you wasn't able to get, you didn't have the money for it, or it sold out, or however you struck out, it's giving you another opportunity to get the shoe. So that's one reason why I do like retros. All
right, now I'm sure you consider yourself a veteran in the game, because I consider myself a veteran in the game. You know, that's what we call sneaker guys and things like that.
Right.
So I'm sure you're able to spot a fake pair of J's off rip.
I don't even have to touch it.
Off rip. Now pass me that gamma. Okay. Because this was a shoe that they got me with. You know what I'm saying? Those websites.
I'm sure everybody remember that funny video.
I'm sure it was the websites, they was targeting, because they even came and got me. You got replica websites. It's always the Chinese and the coming straight from China. You know, they saw I was doing these reviews, and they hit me up. They're like, hey, do some reviews for us, and we give you free shoes. Now they telling me in the emails, it's as closest to 100%, or it's 100% replica, or whatever they were saying. And some guys like, oh, I can get some free shoes, so they sending out these shoes to these guys for them to review. I never took it.
Okay.
I never took the shoes because I always wanted to hold my image as, stand up, 100% authentic and things like that. So how you feel about fake shoes and websites pushing fake shoes on us in this culture?
Man, it's sad, man. It really is sad to see, man, that you just can't have something and it just be that. You know what I'm saying? Right. I really feel bad for the young kids that's just now getting into the game and don't really know anything, and they getting messed over.
And the prices is way higher than retail. Right. Like when I got for the Gammas, you're talking about $330. I paid $330 for a fake pair of shoes. So it's not only is they raping the culture, they raping pockets.
Exactly. So they're getting rich, man.
They're getting rich off of it.
It's real sad to see. Like you said, you got the guys that are that have a name on YouTube, and they're reviewing the shoes and giving the websites traffic and stuff. They're just as guilty as the websites, man. Because if you really love this shoe game,
you want to protect it.
You would turn that down, man. Every dollar is not a good dollar. If it's not an honest dollar, then it's no point in even contributing and messing up something.
Especially when you got kids. I think it's more so targeted towards the kids, because they don't really know.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? They just want a shoe. They don't necessarily have the means to go out and do the raffle process that they got going on right now. Right. And they see it. They ask their moms or they ask their peoples for the money, and they get it because the price is reasonable. Nowadays $300, that you can save up for that.
Exactly.
So they really raping the kids. The elementary school kids, middle school kids. They're going to get these shoes the best way they know how. They just want to be popular in school, like we wanted to be popular in school. So I think that's really what's getting them, because, like I said, they can't do it to me no more. And I can pick a shoe up like this one right now, and I'd be like, oh, nah.
Exactly.
Nah. But yeah. All right, now what I want to put emphasis on right now is the fact that this ain't even your 100% collection. This ain't even everything, but you're not a millionaire.
Exactly.
You ain't got no company sponsors.
Right.
You ain't getting boxes of shoes sent to your front door.
It'd be nice though.
It'd be, of course it would. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's eventually some type of goal for guys like us.
Right.
But you doing this with a regular 9-to-5.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, I mean, when we watch other guys' sneaker collections, NBA players and things like that, some of the times we just not as impressed. You know what I'm saying? Because we got this with nothing.
Exactly.
And you got pretty much the same stuff we got with all the resources in the world.
Right.
So I mean, you could just touch on, you know, things that you had to do to get shoes and, you know, things like that.
I mean, like I said, man, you know, back in the day, I used to sell candy. In school, in high school, I used to sell candy, man. Like when I knew a shoe was gonna and also back in the day, it wasn't shoes dropping every week.
Yeah, that too.
You had maybe 1 or 2 shoes drop within 3 months. So I would sell candy like okay, I would say the shoes coming out at the end of the month. Beginning of the month, all the way to the end of the month, I'm selling candy. I'm selling Snickers. I'm selling chips. I'm selling whatever I can to add them dollars up to get the shoes.
You know, like even with me, you know, I was saving up lunch money and stuff like that. Like back when my early years, like early school years, you know, you getting lunch money early in the week.
No to the side. Right.
I ain't eating.
Right.
We gonna
eat when we go home.
Yeah, eat when you go home. I'm gonna piggyback. I'm gonna dip in your bag. I'm gonna
Right.
you got some chips. I'm dipping over there. I'm dipping over there. My money for them J's.
Right.
So,
exactly. Yeah, man. Mommy and Daddy didn't always buy our shoes, man. You know, when you got to a certain point, man, they might get you 1 or 2 shoes out the year. You know, you want the rest, you're gonna have to find a way to get the money, man.
My mom's was so anti-Jordan, bro. She didn't like logos on clothes.
Right.
Anything that she felt like was gonna draw attention to me, she wasn't buying.
Exactly.
So Jordans was out of the question. So I always, I mean, I wanted them real bad as a kid, wanted them real bad, and you know, I just had to find a way.
Yeah.
And I think celebrities right now, they targeted the celebrities with giving them free shoes. But I mean, it was us first.
Exactly.
It was us first that put the love behind this whole thing.
Yeah.
And it's like they try to take what we did and sell it back to us.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? By giving it to them for free, they say, hey, they idolize these celebrities.
Right.
Let's get them this, and they're gonna buy it more. Right. But they don't have to do that. All they had to do was just show us more love. You know?
Exactly. Now you do have some celebrities.
Yeah.
It's very few that were doing it before they became who they was.
Or get that respect from people like us, like Perfect Pair.
Exactly. Yeah, Perfect Pair. Man.
I saw his collection, man. Woo! And it was life changing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It really put me into like, oh, I need to go harder.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But that's once again, that's us not. We just gonna up our hustle.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And that's how you got into the resale game.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah. The resale game, man. I've been doing it for maybe about 2.5 years now. I wasn't always okay with the resale game until I actually sold my first shoe. First shoe I sold was actually a personal pair of mine. I really don't sell personal stuff anymore, but it was a couple pairs, you know, I needed to make some room, so I sold them, you know, and one particular shoe that I sold was the 05 Flint 13s. Okay. Dude, they were DS. Dude had said he'd been looking for them forever, so he threw me a wild number, so I said, forget it, why not? And you know, the rest is history.
Now, one thing I do want to point out is I think it's a lot of benefits to the resale game because not just because of the money, but the things that you're able to acquire because of the extra cash.
Right, exactly.
When you resell and you don't have to, you know, you're using your own money to the front costs. Exactly. And then after that, it just rolls like a rollover. And now the money that you would have spent for 4 Jordans this month, you still got. And that's why you're able to get things like I see them Dornbreakers, both Dornbreakers over there, heavy Dornbreakers. Okay. Like the 8s. Like how much you pay for these?
I believe I paid $9.50 for those.
$9.50. Now this is almost like saving up for a month. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta buy. Say you ain't gotta buy these, or you ain't gotta buy these because this resale gonna take care of that. Exactly. So now you can use all your money on something like this.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yep. You know, the resale game, man. For me, I don't try to kill people, kill people's pockets. That's one thing I don't like about the resale game. You know, you would have a shoe like the Bordeaux that just came out. You have a shoe like the Bordeaux that just came out. I see people trying to sell these, man, for $290 and $300 and $350. Like, don't like this shoe was mass produced, man. Like this shoe was mass produced. You can honestly probably still walk into the store and get this shoe. Right. This like shoes like this, you sell for $230, $240, and you know you make a couple dollars and keep it pushing, man. You're not gonna become a millionaire by reselling shoes. Exactly. Let's just get that out there.
But you got to think, people not. You got people now. People have taken notice to the resale game, and they're not like we just guys like you just funding habit.
Exactly.
You got guys trying to make brain off of it.
Exactly.
You got guys paying car notes.
Car notes, insurance.
Things
Guys,
like that. And that's why they need that product. They need that product, and they got to sell it at a certain price because they need to eat off of it.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
We got financial backing.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? In the background and take care of all that stuff.
That's
so
true.
right now, you know, that's why you're able to charge the price you're doing because it's just to fun.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know, you don't want to get raped in the process yourself by Jordan raping you, Nike raping you. You know what I'm saying? It don't mean you don't want it. It just mean you got to think a little differently and get that hustle, you know, that hustle mentality on how I'm going to get it now. I'm not going to stop, but it's just a different way to get it.
And you know, another thing that, you know, I want to tell all of the young viewers out there, man, stop trying to get everything. You're never going to get everything. I've been doing this for about 15 years, man. I've been wearing Jordans since about 93 and been collecting since about 2001, and I don't have everything. It's still maybe 30 pairs of shoes that I'm still chasing. So you don't have to get every single shoe. Just buy what you like.
Buy what you like.
If you don't like it, then don't buy it. You know, move on to the next.
I mean, especially we at the point where if you blink your eye, it's another one dropping.
Exactly.
You don't really have time to harbor over everything.
Right.
If you don't get this one, all right, on to the next, on to the next, on to the next.
Exactly.
And I see 2 Dornbeckers. Is that the only couple Dornbeckers you have?
I have others, but they're still in storage.
Still in storage.
I wasn't able to grab everything, but it's another one of my favorites. It's the Dornbecker 6. Now I didn't get this when it first dropped. When this first dropped, wasn't able to get it. You know, it didn't come out in Foot Lockers and Champs and things like that. You know, it came out in your Nike towns, and you know where I live, we don't have one.
Not in Michigan.
And then it came out, you know, on Nike.com. And me personally, I've never been able to get a hot release online.
Now, I don't have these. I don't have these, and that don't mean that my collection ain't on the same level as yours.
Exactly, right.
I don't have these. I don't have neither one of those Dornbeckers. But my collection is still in competition with yours.
Exactly. Exactly.
And that's the thing. The collections is more so they're personalized.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? This is you.
Yeah, exactly.
Your collection, like even just looking at the boxes, your collection don't look nothing like mine.
Exactly.
If I set up my old shoes, even though some of the pairs might be the same, it ain't gonna look the same. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, the way you lace them, like, hand me those. No, yep. Personalized. You know, like I noticed that you swap your laces.
Right.
I never swap my laces. Like, even when the ones come with extra laces, I don't swap none of them.
Right.
But you do.
Right.
And that's just your personal touch on it.
Right.
You know?
Right.
All right, now with a collection this size, man, I'm sure it's gonna be hard, but I want you to pull out your top 5. I want to see what's your top 5. A guy like you, what's your top 5?
Well, my top 5, I'm gonna start it off with the good old Space Jams right here. Space Jam 11s, man.
Now you would say that everybody might pull out an 11, but why are you pulling out 11?
Well, this particular 11 right here for me, I feel like it started the nickname thing for Jordans. You know, every Jordan now, you give it a nickname and, you know, it sells out of the store. But I feel,
when we first started getting shoes, there wasn't no nicknames.
It wasn't no nicknames. It was just the black and red 12s.
Black and red 12s.
The black and white 11s or, you know, things like that. But this one right here, everybody knows that they call it the Space Jams. Right. And it was called the Space Jams back in 2000 when they first came out, before Jordans was getting nicknames. Like, you know, the fact that, you know, these were designed only for the movie, everybody wanted these. Right. And they didn't drop these when the movie dropped.
Now, would you say that's like your first couple doses of hype? You know, seeing that those was only for the movie and, you know, they gave them the nickname. Was that Nike giving you your first dose of hype?
I would say yeah, man. I would say yeah, because, you know, the movie was a great movie, man. It was one of the great movies of my childhood. And, you know, it mixed together all of the Looney Tunes. You know, Looney Tunes was a big thing for us back when we was growing up. That was our SpongeBob or something like that. But seeing the movie and seeing these on the big screen, man, and not being able to get them, yeah, I would say yeah.
A lot of hype.
So the hype was through the roof when these came out.
All right. What's next?
Throw in a little new school flavor. I'm gonna say these right here, the Bel Air 5s.
Now, I might put that in my top 5 too, just because from growing up watching the Fresh Prince.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying, and seeing if it wasn't for Jordan wearing the shoes, it was other people like Will Smith wearing them every show.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
The Wayne's brothers.
Marlon used to wear. I think that was the first time I seen the Cherry 12s. Marlon used to have them on. So a lot of shows like this, and with Nike paying homage to that, you know, it was good for me. It was a must-have for me because, like I said, just watching those shows, those same shows, seeing the Jordans on their feet, wanting them because of that. So now giving it a twist,
Right.
I think that was dope. That was real dope.
Right. And I also want to put out, man, I stood in line for 3 days for this. 3 days, man. Like the line, I honestly think it was the longest line that I ever stood in, man. And you know, the line was wrapped around the building.
It was hype.
And
hype
you know,
was
it was
real.
the hype was through the roof for these, man.
I think I drove past a line, and that was the first time I seen a senior citizen in line camping out.
Right, man.
She was, somebody had their grandmama out there.
Right.
You know,
She was first.
She was first. She was like first and second, yeah. First and second, yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Next, man, I'm gonna have to say is probably my favorite Jordan ever. It's the Bread 13s, man.
13s are, like, just the silhouette 13s, because that's when the original 13s was coming out. That was when my eyes was locked on to every shoe that Jordan had on his foot.
Everything.
So, 13s and this colorway is just amazing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that red suede just does it for everybody. The Christmas shoe, this like sparked off in 04. These like sparked off Christmas releases.
Exactly.
You know, Nike was plotting on us back then, so that really sparked like Christmas releases. When I remember those was a Christmas shoe at 04, and when they dropped, man, everybody in school.
It was crazy.
And you was wondering, like, how do girls even know about Jordans?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because girls, all the girls have them.
Right.
So you're like, how do they even know? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Who they messing with that's telling them to get these? You know?
Right.
And you still wonder about that stuff now. Like, how does everybody in the lines, like, how do everybody find out who getting the Jordans, when they're coming out, what time to be there?
Exactly.
Because I know everybody don't use my sources. And I know everybody don't use your sources.
Definitely not.
So, so yeah, like I said, another one of my top. That's another one of my top as well.
Yeah.
Another one.
All right, kicking off with another little new school flavor, man. The Slam Dunk 6s, bro. These are gems right here. These are beauties, man.
They is.
You know, the aftermarket value of these is at about $500, $550. I really think, man, over time it's gonna get higher than that, man. I really do.
One thing that I really know, because I got these as well. One thing I really am attracted to is the quality.
Man.
You know, if you ever get a close look at these, you know, or if you ever get a pair in your hand, just look at the detail that they're able to put into these sneakers. The 3M, and then once you hit the flash, the characters start to come out, and you actually see the background behind the shoe. Man, is incredible.
Right.
I think this shoe that was just well worth the money, and whatever they charge for it, I was willing to pay, because once you get this shoe in hand, man, it's extremely dope, and like I said, it's worth every penny to me.
And like all of the shoes that have been coming out this year that are that had a $250 price tag, they're sitting on shelves.
Yeah.
But this one sold out, man.
And funny story, you threw me the alley-oop on those.
Yeah, I remember that.
You threw me the alley-oop. You let me get in front of you. Yeah. I wouldn't get, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have got them. I think that was the first time I shouted you out on a review. I'm like, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have them. I wouldn't be reviewing these today. Yeah. Got up there, what was it, like 7 in the morning?
It's like 7 in the morning, man. Line was around the corner.
I sat in one of your seats.
I seen the homie looking desperate. I said, man, go ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro. Just follow my lead. Bro.
That's just the type of love that's in the sneaker game. You know, that's some of the good. We're able to do things for each other and things like that. So I mean, my collection appreciates you. I appreciate you, and I'm sure the viewers from that review appreciate you. So there we go. Yep. All right, now we're ready for your top one. I'm sure everybody anticipating what it's gonna be. So yeah, I'm sure it's something good. So what's your top one?
The Alpha Dog.
Okay.
Bam. Rumored to be coming out this year.
I hope so, because I don't have those.
Yeah.
I hope so. And I guess I'm guessing. I'm taking a guess right now, but I'm guessing red is your favorite color.
Red is my favorite.
3
color.
of your top 5.
Red is definitely my favorite
has
color.
Has red in it. So, but
yeah, I'm a sucker for red. That's one of my hashtags.
And I think this shoe right here just introduced quality into the game. You know what I'm saying? Because that red suede started the Raging Bull name. You know, and and another thing I noticed, touching back on how you said nicknames earlier, every time we see a red shoe now, they calling it Raging Bull or Toro or something. Or something like that, you know what I'm saying? Which this is the original.
This is the original Raging Bull.
You know, that's original Toro 5. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even know why it's like when you see red now you think of Toro.
Exactly. So. And the crazy thing about these came out in 09, I think. They sat, man. I went and picked when I went and picked these up. The store had been open maybe about 7 hours, and I just picked them up just on the spur of the moment type thing.
I remember that.
And they had about 14 packs left, If I knew then what I knew now, I'd have took them all.
You took them all.
All of them.
You know what I'm saying? But back then we wasn't even thinking about resale. I don't even think
Nothing
resale.
like
I mean,
it wasn't. It didn't jump off yet.
It didn't jump off. Like the only thing that was being sold back then was fake Jordans.
Right.
And you knew not to buy that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I remember we had stores, fake stores, and you had guys on the corner selling Jordans.
Right.
So we knew not to even mess with them.
Right.
So nobody thought to, oh, let me buy all this because in 3 years the price gonna be 30% higher.
Right.
So yeah, but you know that's, I mean, everything is good with these, man. Everything is, like I said, I wish I had a pair because it's definitely on my grail list. Just especially seeing how they put the paint. You know, they put the paint, the tip. You know.
Right.
But everything is great with these, man. This is definitely 100% dope shoe.
Right.
All right, man. I gotta thank you. I gotta really thank you and appreciate you for letting us come in and shoot your collection and stuff like that.
Yep.
So I want to present you with a tee, you know, a G Sneaks tee, because I mean you are a sneaker guy now in my eyes. So I'm sure this quote on the front really fits you. I'm sure you pray you get to unBS all this stuff before you die. At least wear it one time. So there you go. I want to present you with that. And I'm sure people gonna be hitting you up about questions and things now, or you know,
man.
Oh, appreciate it, no problem. I'm sure people gonna be hitting you up now because they either want to buy some things from you because they know you're a 100% reliable source for sneakers, or if they got any questions or they want to do some legit checks or anything like that. So go ahead and just let everybody know how to get at you.
Okay, the main way to get at me is on Instagram. My Instagram is iceberg_Mr.31third. That's MR313RD. So it's ICEBERG_MR313RD.
And I will be putting it in the description box under the video.
Right.
So any other way?
You can also email me at ICEBERG.gmail.com.
All right, bro. Like I said, man, we appreciate you letting us bring the cameras in here and shoot everything, man. So it's a wrap, man.
Sure. Appreciate it.